I want to point out some modern day extremist views that once you zoom out, you'll realize how extreme they are. So when I was living in Seattle, Washington, during the pandemic, I used it as an opportunity to clean up my eating habits. Now, there are certain things that I have an addictive personality. It is just best that I avoid certain things, right? If you used to have a drinking problem, it's probably best that you never drink another drop of alcohol. And that's how I treat a lot of foods that I was formerly addicted to, right? It is a lot easier for me to go on a 48 or 72 hour fast than to even touch one bite of food during that time, right? I cannot eat throughout the day without binge eating throughout the day. It's just not possible for me. It's not an option, right? I can either eat that one big meal a day, or I could eat 5 big meals a day, right? People think you should eat 5 little meals a day. It's not an option for me, right? It's not stability. I have never succeeded in stabilizing doing that. Not to mention, there are benefits to intermittent fasting anyway. And so I would talk to my friends, not necessarily because I want to, but because they want to offer me food, or maybe I have to explain why. You know, I'll still keep them company, but we'll do other things besides food, right? Usually I'll put it that way. And then people label me with all sorts of things, right? So there's a so-called eating disorder called orthorexia, right? People who are so-called extremists in healthy eating. But you know what? There's nothing extreme about there are two things. One thing is there's nothing extreme about not wanting to eat something that was only recently available, right? So for example, I haven't consumed any refined white sugar for 17 years now. I haven't consumed a lot of other ingredients for nearly as long. There's nothing extreme about not wanting to take something that didn't exist just a few hundred short years ago. Heck, there's a lot of people who don't want to take something that was invented 2 years ago because they're still worried about the effects of it, right? Do you want to I guess there are people who call those people extreme too. But we accept that, right? Most people do, at least. And there's nothing extreme about wanting to care for your body in the way that you want to, right? The people who are extreme are those who label them for some reason. And but the food industry wants to push the idea, right, that if you don't consume whatever they invent, that you're an extremist, right? See, I need to figure out how they do it, so that I can get people to. I write AI for computer games. I need to get people to buy my computer games, or you're an extremist, right? Can you imagine if I could push that, right? Now, there are people who push the idea that you need to be with somebody and reproduce, and when you have that big ceremony, you need to spend a lot of money on the ceremony and the jewelry. See, I need to push the idea that not only should people have a romantic relationship with themselves, but when they have that ceremony, they need to buy jewelry made of bismuth that I've been pouring a lot of lately, right? So here's King Tut. You know, if I could push the idea that everybody who is solosexual needs to buy bismuth jewelry from me, or they're an extremist, can you imagine how well off I would be, right? Anyways, so I thought I would point out extremism in our modern society that nobody even thinks about because it's so pervasive, right?